Who didn't see this coming? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we're going to talk about the very first transgender woman to win the Miss Nevada pageant. And not only did they win, they also defeated 21 other, I presume, biological women to accomplish this goal. Now, there's a lot I want to say. There's a lot to quote unquote unpack here, as a cool kid say. But first, let's get into this very short local news clip. After we get done watching that, I'll come back. I'll talk about what was said there. Then I'll give you the rest of my 2 cents, my deep, detailed analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
For the very first time, a transgender woman will represent Nevada in the Miss USA. Cataluna Enriquez was crowned Miss Nevada USA Sunday in the pageant at the South Point. She won Miss Silver State USA back in March. She will be the first trans woman from any state to compete for the title.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, are you surprised? Are you surprised at all? You shouldn't be. I've been on this channel for years now talking about this. I have predicted this. I'm like, okay, once they, whoever they may be, the powers that be, the media, politicians, whenever they push for certain things, there's always going to be the next thing. The first thing was gay marriage. Now, somebody's gay and they're married. I don't really care what you do in your personal life. You know, I'm not trying to judge you for being gay or whatever, but I knew once they past gay marriage, there'd be the next thing and the next thing. It wouldn't just stop right there, because some would say, you know what? Okay, let's do gay marriage. Have it stop right there. No big deal, right? That is the thought process of many. But I knew it wouldn't be the end. I knew that they would push for more. Okay, you got gay marriage. Now, how about trans rights? How about some other kind of rights that I don't want to get into right now in this video? Let's keep it right here at the trans stuff. I knew there would be a push to have transgender people, regardless of male, female, whatever, blend in with biological men and women. I knew there'd be a push. I see it a lot now on television. They do it really covertly. I'm watching HGTV, minding my own business, watching some rehabs, some abandoned buildings get knocked down and built back up from the ground up, no studs or nothing like that, a straight foundation and built up. Mind my business, right? And then here comes a commercial, and it's for soap or something like that. And they'll flash people on the screen real quick, so you might not notice it. But my mind has been trained to see certain things, to pick up on things real quick, to be very observant, because I'm in marketing, been doing marketing for a long time. And I know when I'm being programmed or when they're trying to program me. So I'm watching the commercial, and it's women, frolicking in the forest and throwing little rose petals, just doing girl stuff. All of a sudden, I see, some shoulders that don't really match. I'm seeing some big shoulders, kind of a strong jawline. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Is this a woman? Is it a man? Like, what am I actually seeing? And like I said, I'm no bigot or nothing like that. But if I'm seeing the commercial and it has all these women, it's a commercial for women. It's, trying to attract women. It's trying to project femininity, things of that nature. And then I see, a foot long chin. I'm like, what's going on? You see what I'm saying? They try to push things in there on the low so you don't notice, to normalize it. Shout out to Yuri Bezmenov for giving me that term. The situation is normalized. That's what they do when you're talking about communist countries, when they want to put certain propaganda on you, and the objective is to normalize it so you don't see it as anything that's abnormal or irregular. This is just what it is, and they normalize it. This could be part of that. You're trying to mix biological men with trans men and so on and so forth. Although biologically, this does not make any sense, right? I'm seeing some weird stuff on Instagram, and I won't post it here. Maybe I'll put it in the box. But I saw a picture. It was like a cartoon picture. It wasn't like an actual picture, but it was a picture of a man, but they were born as a woman with a full beard. I'm talking about like one of the goons from Aladdin, right? A full beard, They were black, of course, brown skin, because they wanted to push that on us. But anyway, brown skin, full beard, um, kind of fat too. And I mean, I'm not trying to say they just were bigger than normal. I'm trying to talk about like stomach overhanging their waist with stretch marks everywhere. So they were intentionally trying to be fat. Had their fists raised up in the air, but they just had a baby. Like I think the umbilical cord still might have been on the baby, and it was something like men can give birth to something like this. So they're trying to normalize it. They're putting it in cartoon form. I might have put that in Health Magazine or Teen Vogue or something like that. A place where it probably shouldn't be. Maybe there should just be something for the internets to have. Maybe some weirdo on Deviant Art made it. That's fine if you want to do that. But then when you're trying to push it out to children or young adults, I got to ask, is there an agenda here or what? Now, to get back to the actual pageants, I thought pageants were to display women, right? To display not only their beauty, but their brains, sometimes their brawn, their accomplishments. Like typical beauty pageant, they'll say, hey, my name is Amanda Green. I'm from, Tallahassee, Florida. I enjoy reading. I enjoy hiking, X, Y, and Z. I'm also a PhD student, and I go to Haiti every summer, and I do mission work and all this and that, giving you the whole rundown, beauty, brains. So the whole point is, yes, I'm beautiful. Yes, I look nice, whatever, in my bikini or whatever, but I also do more. I'm also not just, a empty-brained, empty-minded person. I got a whole lot going on. It's to highlight women in their entirety. Women put a lot of stock into their looks, and that's fine. That's one of the biggest things that they give to the world. To give beauty, to give nurturing. That's great, right? We highlight that in these beauty pageants. But when you have biological men that get into the space, now it's like the things that women naturally have an advantage when it comes to, men and women, because men got certain things that we do better than women and vice versa. Now those things kind of become less. It's not really that way, because now you have people that are not necessarily born with that. They become women, and then they have surgery and things of that nature to get it. It's like really unfair. Women have surgery as well, but it's not quite the same thing as when a biological man has surgery to try and become a woman. It's not the same thing at all. This is unfair. And we see this unfairness not just in beauty pageants where it's pretty evident, because if you got 21 women, biological women, who lose to a biological man, that's not fair. But you also have it when it comes to sports. Serena Williams, one of the best women's tennis players ever, said that there is no competition between the men and the women. Women cannot defeat men when it comes to tennis. So if you have a tennis player who was born as a man, may have competed as a man, and then competes against the women have no chance. This is the same thing that's going on right now in track and field. You have this person, I think her name is CC Telfair, his, her, I'm not really sure what their pronouns are. I don't want to get nobody upset. But this person was competing as a man. So it wasn't just like, oh, okay, I've been this way my whole life, been X, Y, and Z. Nah, they were competing in track as a man. They were not doing very well. Then they became a woman. All of a sudden, you're breaking all types of records. Like I showed before, in the track and field for professionals going to the Olympics or trying to go to the Olympics, the fastest woman, I forget her name. You guys know what I'm talking about. Young lady with the nails and the hair and whatnot. Her time was the fastest out of all the women, but she was still like 0.6 of a second slower than the slowest man who ran the same race. I think it was a 100-meter relay, 100-meter dash, if I would say that. So there's obvious differences. This is unfair when you try to compete men against women. This is why you have gendered sports. This is why you have gendered, competitions, even when it comes to things like a beauty pageant. I think the men's equivalent to a beauty pageant would be the bodybuilding competitions. You're not going to have women compete against men in a bodybuilding competition. The bodies are physically different. A woman cannot achieve, we're talking about the top trained women against the top trained men, they cannot match. It's impossible. It's physically not possible. So it's just not right. And, shout out to this person. I'm not sure who they are. I don't know what they got going on. I don't know them. I don't know their background, but it's just not right. I think there should be like if you want to have a trans pageant, okay, cool. But when you have a pageant for women, it's unfair when men come in and then win. And then also, you got to ask yourself, okay, did they win because they are transgender or did they win because they are the best? But if they are the best, then that has to be seen as unfair because they did a lot of things. They're just it's an unfair situation to be in. I feel for all the young ladies that lost up against this transgender person. Like I say, if someone wants to be transgender, that's what makes them happy, then that's their business. I can't do nothing to change someone for feeling how they feel, right? But I can speak up and say that it's unfair to people when you compete against them when you shouldn't be. Maybe there should be a trans pageant and you could compete in that. I'm sure that things like that exist. That's probably the way that it should be. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about transgender people competing in pageants of what they identify as? You understand? So you got a trans woman, a biological male competing against biological women. Is this fair? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. If you think it's fair. If it's not fair, let me know why in the comments below. And this is where I stand. If you didn't know, it's unfair. And I think a lot of people are getting a forceful red pill. They're getting a forceful red pill right now because they did not think that this would happen to them. I've been warning for years and years. Years and years. People told me, ABL, you're tripping. There'll never be a woman, a biological male that becomes a woman that competes against biological women and win. It never happens. You're just paranoid. You just a homophobe. I'm not scared of anything. I have no fear at all. None. Zero fear. So I'm not scared of anything. Okay. But I know what's right and what's wrong and what's fair and what's unfair. And really, honestly, I have no dog in that particular fight. I'm not trying to be in a beauty pageant. All right. I don't have any kids or anything that's in the beauty pageant or nothing like that or in gymnastics. I don't have any kids at all. I'm just saying, I'm speaking up for biological women that don't think this is right. I speak for them. Nothing against Cataluna Enriquez, nothing against that person. It's just not right. Whoever's in charge of the pageant shouldn't have allowed this to happen. That's just my humble opinion. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.